All right, all right. Welcome in. I'm Brian Edwards of MajorWager.com, and we're going to talk NFL draft props. And we've got quite a few of them out, going with what Sportsbook.ag is offering. Now, I have to admit, I haven't done a lot of NFL, NFL draft betting through the years, and that's a good thing. I believe the only one I've ever made was last year. I did Sony Michel under 34.5 just for a little 50 spot right before the draft started. And it went well. I'm not going to have a lot of suggestions, though. I'm just throwing out, I may throw out an opinion here or there, but I'm going to let you know what draft props are available. The draft coming up April 25th. All right, the first one is defensive players selected, and the over-under at sportsbook.ag is 6.5. It is shaded to the under at a minus 165 price for bettors wanting to take over 6.5 defensive players to be drafted in the top 10. You can get a plus 120 return, risk 100 to win 120. Dwayne Haskins, the Ohio State quarterback, where will he go? The over-under is 5.5. It's shaded toward the over at a minus 165 price. And if you like Haskins to be drafted 5th or higher, or lower if we're doing the number, if you're going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, but obviously higher on the draft board, that would be a plus 120 return on under 5.5. DK Metcalf, Ole Miss star wide receiver. His over-under is 11.5. It's shaded to the over at a minus 150 price. You can get plus 110 on the under. Josh Jacobs, running back out of Alabama. Great player. He was their lowest recruit in that recruiting class that would have been the 2016 class. And he was their lowest rated recruit, and he has been a hell of a player for Nick Saban over the last 3 years. His over-under, 25.5. The over is going to cost you minus 165, risk 165 to win 100. And the under, you can risk 100 to win 120, as that is a plus 120. Drew Lock, the quarterback out of Missouri, his over-under is 12.5. It's shaded to the under for a minus 145 price. If you like over 12.5, he is at plus 105. Again, I don't do a lot of NFL draft handicapping. I love Mel Kiper. He is just has an incredible amount of information. And I did pull up his latest mock draft that he did on March 26th, just to give you an idea on some of these guys. He's got Lock at number 13. He's got Kyler Murray going number 1, which I think would be a pretty big surprise. But it's possible. It is possible. So they also have a few matchups. Who will be drafted first among quarterbacks? Haskins against Lock, and Haskins is heavily favored, minus 375. If you like Lock to go ahead of Haskins, and look, with something like this, all you need is one team. You just need one team to like Lock better than Haskins. You can get a plus 250 payout on that, risk 100 to win 250. Nick Bosa out of Ohio State versus Quinnen Williams out of Alabama. Bosa the D end, Quinnen Williams, he can play D tackle or D end. Bosa is a minus 320 favorite. Williams is plus 220 on the comeback. They also have a prop for how many quarterbacks will go in the first round. Kiper's only got 3. The total on that is 3.5. If you think 4 quarterbacks or more will go in round 1, you got a minus 225 price. So under 3.5 is plus 165, and Kiper's telling you to go under. Although, look, with season win totals bets, for me to make that wager, I have to have a 1.5 game cushion. So I shouldn't be saying Kiper's telling you to go under, because it's really only a half pick cushion, if you will. Let's go to some special props, like what team will former Oklahoma quarterback Kyler Murray go to? Okay, the odds are 30-1 for the Bucs, or plus 3,000, whichever way you want to put it. The Jaguars are 20-1 odds, as are the Dolphins. Redskins, 15-1. The G-men are 10-1, and the Raiders are the plus 500 favorite, only 5-1. And did I mention the Cardinals? They're also at 10-1. First wide receiver to be drafted. Again, at sportsbook.ag, and the Rebels, or former Ole Miss wide receiver DK Metcalf, is the minus 200 chalk. You may remember A.J. Brown was in Kiper's first mock, like the day after last year's draft. And I'm bringing up A.J. Brown because obviously he was Ole Miss wide receiver, just like DK Metcalf. In last year's mock, Kiper had him in the top 5, and he's not even listed on this prop bet at sportsbook.ag for who will be the first wide receiver selected. Again, Metcalf minus 200 chalk. Then you've got Marquise Hollywood Brown plus 250 out of Oklahoma. Hakeem Butler plus 350. I'm sorry, there's A.J. Brown. Duh. Forget what I said a second ago. A.J. Brown is plus 500 or 5-1. N'Keal Harry out of Arizona State, 8-1. Paris Campbell, 25-1. And Stanford's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside is 40-1. How about what team will Dwayne Haskins go to? There are a lot of candidates. The Giants are the favorite at plus 250. Then you've got the Raiders at plus 275. Dolphins plus 350. Broncos 6-1 or plus 600. The Bengals 10-1. The Bucks 14-1. Niners 16-1, along with the Cardinals, who are also 16-1. And the Jets are at 25-1. Lots more props out there. You've got almost or just a little less than 3 weeks left to handicap. Love how the NFL went to the showcase first round show on Thursdays, and then do the second and third rounds on Friday, and the fourth rounds or 4 through 7 on Saturday. So that's coming up on April 25th. Again, you've got several weeks to handicap, and you've got a lot more props out there, more so than even I have mentioned already. But there's a few to get you started. I'm Brian Edwards of MajorWager.com. Thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon.